So if Zapier is, we're going to give you a steak and you have to cook it, Automations.io is, we're going to cook the steak for you.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think for business owners, you need to pick the battles you want to fight. So I think it's better for them to focus on more important things than potentially maybe learning a new tool, setting everything up, whereas we've done it hundreds of times. So we'll come in, we'll build it much quicker and make sure it works exactly how they want.
That's pretty cool, right? Because I hear a lot of people, it is hard to learn how to do Zapier and use it, especially if you haven't done your first one. Like building out the first app is a little bit tricky, and it's like, what is this? What is that? What is this action and triggers and all this stuff? So people literally, and I'm not kind of baiting this question. I just haven't gone through this workflow, but people just ask or they fill out a form or type stuff. Or what is the flow for a shop to use Automations IO, and then you build it?
So we usually start with the discovery call, jump on a video call, hence my setup we talked about before. And it's basically want to learn what they want to automate. So what are the manual things they do? I think one of the most common things we do for Printavo shops is art and code approval chasing. So as I understand, code goes out or art approval goes out. Customers take their time to approve it or reject it. And people have to manually chase for to get it either approved or rejected. So we would build just a simple automation saying, how often do you want automated emails to go out? And they'll say something, let's send an email every 3 days for 2 weeks. And if they don't approve it, we'll just archive it. And then...
So that's a flow. That's a real example of a flow that you can build.
Yeah. And again, each business is different. Some people want to chase every 2 days, every 3 days. Someone wants to chase on weekdays only or calendar days. So let emails go out on Saturday and Sunday. Another thing we also do with these chasing automations is we also move the production and customer due date. So as I understand,
who's feeding you all this?
You live in the Printavo API, huh?
Yeah. Wait, so how is this maintained by the customers? So they just like toggle them on or off on their end. So like once you build it, it's like a dashboard of, a bot or something. And, I want to run this thing now, or.
Yeah. So the way we set it up is, so customers create statuses in Printavo, something like art approval chase 1, art approval chase 2, art approval chase 3. And then they build an automation inside Printavo saying when status changed to art approval chase 1, send this email. If it's changed to status art approval chase 2, send a different email. Then we on our side is we listen when you change the status to artwork sent for approval. Then we start an automation on our side. Okay, let's wait 3 days. And in 3 days, check. Has it been approved? No. Change status to chase 1. Another after 3 days, chase 2. And then Printavo sends out those emails.
So because Printavo hasn't built time-based automations
or
these
other cool things,
these
things,
things,
advanced workflows. It's like if then, and then. It's really cool.
And because we've got this foundation integration with Printavo, so we've got customers using it for payment chasing, or I know we've got a customer who they've got a status order ready for pickup. And so they chase the customer, come over and pick it up. It's ready. Or someone sent a sample out and they want to chase for feedback. So what do you think about a sample? So it's basically all those things where, yes, you can do these manually, but with volume and doing this repetitively, it can become tedious and boring.
So one of the most viewed videos on Printavo YouTube is my Zap webinar. I'm taking credit for that one. This is old, like really old. I bet you the Zap UI is super. I don't know if you've seen it, Alex, or not. But Bruce would have me basically like, I was like a circus clown for him, and I would just record my screen of how I was building these Zaps. And it's heavily used. And then I get a ton of feedback like, hey, I can't find this, or I can't do that, or I can't do this. And I spent hours and hours and hours and hours in learning Zapier. What you're telling me is, for couple $100 a month, I can set up a meeting with you guys, tell you what I want. You go away, build it, come back, and then show us it running.
Yes. And on top of that, we'll also ask you, have you thought about this and that? Because we've built automations for multiple Printavo customers. So we can say, oh, by the way, we can also do this and do that. And they're like, that's cool.